Welcome to Moose Plays, everyone. I'm the Liquor Moose, and today we will be going over my Week 1 team builder for the 10th season of the UPA. For this week, we will be going up against Jose AKA Shiny Weavile, coach of the Seattle Mareanies. And yeah, Jose is a fantastic battler, but he did just come off a slight hiatus due to being away at the U.S. Marine Corps. definitely a good reason to get away from the game, but he replaced, I don't remember who he replaced last season in Maine. Actually, no, he replaced Troy in Maine. Troy dropped and then Jose came to replace him. So he got hopefully for him, he got all of his rust off in that season. So now he's back for his first full season, I believe. And yeah, we're both looking to start off really well with a win because with the competition level of this league, no one can really afford to slip up if possible. So with that in mind, let's just go over Jose's team right now. So he drafted Tornadus T, Megaane, Heatran, Roserade, Conkeldurr, Licky, Slowking, Crawdon, Cresselia, Palisand, Vullaby, and Electabuzz, with his Z-move users being Tornadus T and the Heatran. So, biggest threat in my opinion, definitely the Crawdon. I don't really have a switch into that thing. Like Liquidation plus, or I guess you probably want to run Crabhammer. Crabhammer plus Knockoff is really difficult for my team to switch into. You might think like, hey, I have a Whimsicott or an Azumarill. Well, they can just run Sludge Wave and just like nuke either one of them. So we'll have to scout for that. Barring that, he has a lot of really annoying things. Tornadus T is really annoying. Megaane, I'm not too sure shows up. I do have two very reliable ways of revenging it. So, and plus, like with a natural bulk of my team, it's kind of hard for Deancey to sort of make an impact. I'm still up in the air whether it would show up or not. Heatran should probably come because I do have both the Mega Scizor and the Whimsicott. And then Roserade is like the last big annoyance. I'm not too sure if it shows up because like Kyurem kind of has a pretty good matchup against Jose, and Roserade kind of lets Kyurem have a free switch in. But besides that, like just being able to set up hazards and being able to fire off sludge bombs that can potentially poison is really annoying for my team. Barring that, I don't know if there's really too much to say about the rest of Jose's team other than the fact that like I don't really have a switch into Conkeldurr. The problem with Conkeldurr is that it leaves a lot to be desired like on the revenge killing front. Even if Conkeldurr gets a kill, my Azumarill can pretty much come in and claim a kill itself. So on the fence whether that one shows up. And yeah, not too much to say about the rest of his team. I'm not really too sure what exactly he brings, but either way, I still had to build for this. So let's just go over the team I decided to bring. So first off, we have a relatively specially defensive Kyurem, which is meant to be my main switch into Tornadus. After consulting a few people and having a mock battle, it seems pretty unlikely that Tornadus is going to be mixed with Superpower, which means that Kyurem is definitely my best answer to it. Ice Beam guaranteed to hit KO's max HP. And yeah, like I said with the Roserade, even though Roserade is kind of annoying with firing off Sludge Bombs, I can still pivot into Roserade. If he's Life Orb, I'm guaranteed not to hit KO'd if he gets poisoned as well with the Sludge Bomb, so I can definitely fire off 2 Ice Beams and be able to, oh my goodness, and be able to pressure it out. Barring that, his other ice resists consists of Heatran, Slowking, and Crawdon. Crawdon doesn't have the best SPDF, so it's not going to take Ice Beams too well. For Heatran, I do have the Earth Power, and then for Slowking, I have the Toxic, as well as being able to Toxic just his generally bulky stuff like his, like his Cresselia, mainly Cresselia. But I mean, getting a Toxic on Licky, I'm sure will be fine, as long as that thing's not rest. And then, honestly, just getting a Toxic on anything else that's bulky is perfectly fine. And then finally, we have Roost, just in case our Kyurem gets a little too low on... health, we can click Roost and gain some health back. So yeah, in my opinion, relatively straightforward Kyurem, not too much to say there. Next up, we have our Mega Scizor, which is pretty SPDF invested just to be able to like tank anything barring Hidden Power Fire that Megaane wants to throw at us. Roost to be able to recover some HP back. Superpower for the obvious Heatran switch in, U-turn for momentum, and then Bullet Punch is the absolute must in order to be able to properly check Megaane. There's no way hedging on that. I originally had Bug Bite on this set, as U-turn actually doesn't guarantee one-hit KO a max HP Crawdon. So I originally had Bug Bite, but with Superpower, I guess Superpower could do the same thing. Oh my goodness. And then as well, Superpower just gives me also the benefit of hitting the Heatran that he has. We have enough speed in here to outspeed an Adamant Crawdon. That was the thing I was creeping with this. So yeah, not too much to say about this Mega Scizor. In my opinion, a relatively straightforward set. Next up we have kind of my main answer to the Heatran, which is a relatively Spadef invested Miltank. With Milk Drink for like general, I mean, just reliable recovery. Earthquake to be able to hit the Heatran. Miltank is going to be our main stealth rocker for this match, and then we also have Body Slam in case. Oh my goodness! In case Jose wants to get a little bit, it's not that aggressive, but in case he tries to switch in Tornadus onto this, I can Body Slam and potentially get a para, because if that thing gets parried, that's going to make my life a whole lot easier to be able to outspeed his Tornadus. And then we have enough speed here to outspeed a modest Heatran was the thing we were creeping with this one. So next up, we have an offensive Whimsicott because it actually has a relatively good matchup against Jose. Barring the Tornadus T, Z, Grass, Guarantee, Oko's, Mega Diancie, even if he just takes a couple rounds of rocks, like regular Energy Ball still does a minimum of 74% to an offensive Diancie. Excuse me, so I can still be able to nuke that thing. Hidden Power Ground, obviously, for the Heatran. U-turn to get some momentum. I originally had Moonblast on here as a means to hit Conkeldurr, and to an extent the Volibee, although I'm not really too sure the Volibee's coming. But then after my mock, like it wasn't really that useful in the mock, and then as well, it's kind of unlikely that Conk is going to show up because I do have a Mew, and then as well, like I said, even if his Conkeldurr does kill something, then my Azumarill gets to come in and basically kill something else of his. So Conkeldurr doesn't really seem like the best bring on his part. I was kind of torn on it. And either way, we cut Moonblast for Defog because when one of your main when one of your main pivots in the match is Rock Squeak, you really want Defog. So in my opinion, this was needed. We are Infiltrator still, as the only thing, barring Scarfers, the only thing we wouldn't be able to defog on is the Tornadus, because then it could fire off a super effective hit either way. I still felt Infiltrator was definitely better because in case this Mega Diancie runs Substitute and is able to kill something, I can still bypass the sub. If he clicks sub, then he's guaranteed in range of regular Energy Ball, so I can guarantee knock that out. Assuming he's like offensive and just like, you know, the standard speed creeping. For him, I guess it'd be speed creeping Mienshao, and then putting like the remaining EVs into HP. If he's a little bit more defensive oriented, which I guess I'll kind of have to find out in some other way, then I guess I can click Z Energy Ball, and that's not going to be that big of a deal. As well, Z Energy Ball is sort of good because if he does bring the Slow King, if he's just max HP Slow King, then Energy Ball does a minimum, or Z Energy Ball does a minimum of 94 to it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this Whimsicott set. Hopefully I don't throw it away. The one thing I will have to scout for is Sludge Wave on Crawdon. I guess we'll kind of get into that later because, like I said, Azumarill can go nuts on Jose's team. I'm still not sure of whether Conkeldurr shows up at all. This Azumarill gets a lot better if Conkeldurr does show up. I'm just gonna say that. But even if he doesn't, being able to just like nuke things with Liquidation and Play Rough is always good. Again, we have a second good priority option to be able to guarantee offensively check the Mega Diancie, which is kind of why I think he runs sub, which is a big reason why we want Infiltrator on Whimsicott. But either way, for the things that these three can't hit, we do have Knockoff to be able to basically claim items. It doesn't do too much to Mega Diancie, but I mean, let's be real, Jose's got to have balls of steel to hard switch Mega Diancie into Azumarill. The only other thing I'm not too I don't even know what else I'm not too sure of. Like, I guess Colberberry Cresselia could be a problem for this set, but I kind of have a way to deal with that in my Stallbreaker Mew as my last Pokemon. So I do agree that this is kind of annoying, or kind of not annoying, but disappointing that that this is my first Mew set of the entire season, because even though this is definitely one of like Mew's like generally accepted best sets, it's just unfortunate that I couldn't get a little more creative. But I definitely think this set fits a lot more in this match. We do have enough speed here. We are once again outspeeding his modest champ. By the way, this speed was for it was for no speed Volibee. I don't think it comes, but I mean I did want to creep I did want to creep no speed Crawdon, but oh my goodness, in case where he's like also like kind of creeping stuff, I just wanted to go a little bit higher as it is like no speed Volibee, like Crawdon's base speed is 55, Volibee's base 60, so I felt safe enough to creep just that little bit extra. Either way, we are once again with this Mew outspeeding modest Tran because I don't really see a reason to be adamant, but he could be like max speed, like speedy modest. I'm not sure. It depends on how much speed he wants to potentially outspeed my Mega Scizor. There was a reason I had this offensive investment. I believe it was to not get 2-hit KO'd by maybe like Dark Pulse from Tornadus, I think. I honestly can't remember. We're pretty spadef to be able to ensure take hits from his special threats. Oh no, I remember. We hit the same threshold as Kyurem, where if he's like I think this one's slightly different. I think if I can't do this if I can't do the same thing if Roserade is Life Orb, but if he isn't Life Orb, then I can guarantee pivot into his Roserade, and then even if he like Sludge Bombs me and poisons me, then after poison I'm guaranteed not 3-hit KO'd. I can't remember. No, I'm guaranteed not 2-hit KO'd. With poison and no leftovers, guaranteeing 3-hit KO is a little much. And then we put the Res into Fizdef just to kind of be a general sponge. And then the usual stall breaking stuff, Soft Boil, Taunt, Super Fang. And then we have U-Turn because, like I saw in my mock, it's pretty free. Like on traditional Mew sets, Crawdon has a pretty free switch in. So in the case where he does want, where he wants to get aggressive and switch in his Crawdon onto my Mew, I can U-turn out and then pivot into my Whimsicott and then hopefully get a dead Crawdon on my hands. So that would be nice. So yeah, that's the team that I decided to bring for Week 1 against Jose. Let me know what you guys think of the team in the comment section down below. Tell me how you think that we're gonna do, because I'm really curious. I really want to make a good impression in the UPA. I really really want to compete very hard with the rest of this competition. So yeah, I'm really excited for this game. So yeah, keep your guys' eyes out on the channel tomorrow for when the match versus Jose goes live. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.